Go Sun Challenge. And what the heck is it? We're going to analyze somebody's power bills. They called me on the phone. They said, we've got like $700 power bills. They used to be $200. Can you help us? I want to throw a bunch of solar at it. Sorry, not throwing solar at it. First thing I'm going to do, we got to figure out where the power's going. So this is what we're doing with this customer. I've got their power bills. I've put them all in Excel, and I've made a few graphs, and we're just going to go through them right here. So this is one graph that I stuck together. I've got data from 2003 right up to 2026, or sorry, 2023 to 2026. So 2023 is the blue line. You can see it's, goes down in the summertime. Red line's 2024. I've got a whole year of data for that. October, notice it's like the lowest. And what this graph is telling me right off the bat, it has something to do with heat. Are you showering more? Probably not. You're showering usually the same all year round. I think what's happening in this case, this house, they're telling me it's 100% wood. However, this graph, which I didn't even need an energy monitor for, we just downloaded the data from MB Power, you can see that as the temperature gets near where we like it, room temperature, which would be like May, June, July, it might be a little too hot for us. And then in the shoulder seasons, October, that's usually when it hits, that's when our heat starts going up, right? So our power consumption, according to this, based on the readings that MB Power has given us, this is what's going on. Now you can see in 2026, the power, started out, it's higher than ever. So this is in dollars. So I'll explain that. I have a consumption chart here. I'm going to pull that one over, and it is going to show. So this is their consumption. So this sheet here it just shows the consumption in kilowatt hours, which in the solar world, this is what I'm concerned with. I'm not concerned about the dollars. A solar panel will create X amount of kilowatt hours in the run of a year, and you're using so many kilowatt hours in the run of a year. If the power rates go up, this value of the electricity that we're creating with solar goes up as well. So this is the chart showing consumption over times of months over those 4 different years. The consumption was highest in January, February, March 2026, ones we just came out of. You can see in the years past, especially in the summertime, right around the same here. And then with the exception 2024, October, November, whatever happened, I'm assuming it's heat. That's why I talk about temperatures. Excuse me. It was higher. So this is consumption. And this chart, what I did is I put in the power rates during that time, including the variance account, which added on to it. I can show you what I just pulled up from MB Power's general rate applications from year to year. So this has the power rates on it. So you'll see 2025, even though consumption wasn't a whole lot different, as you saw in the other graph, it didn't really, it changed because the power rates went up. I think it was 13% that year. So I've got this all in a spreadsheet. I'm willing to share that with you guys. So this one shows, let me see here, year to year, they used a little bit more every year, it seems. It just keeps going higher. This is kilowatt hours. So anyway, so I've got that data. It's a lot in dollars. Like, this is $750, $800 a month. It's a lot. So follow along, and what we're going to do is we're going to analyze. We've got that data, but now we're going to put an energy monitor on. We're going to clamp their meter, and we're going to see we're going to clamp their panel, and we're going to see if their meter is correct or not. And then we're going to try to find out, if it is correct, where the power is going. I have an app that you can get on your phone, but I'm going to show you what it looks like on the computer side of things without my face in here. So this is one client who has an energy monitor, and they do not have solar yet. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll get their consumption down, and then they'll consider it. However, it's great to know where the power is going. So on the bottom of the screen, there's a live by the minute, by the hour, by the day, week, month, and year. So in this case, we've clamped things that for instance, the basement heat pump. Whoever's place this is, basement heat pump. There's a live view. Let's click by the hour. So at the bottom, I've clicked by the hour. That has cost this customer 13 cents. So I can change it to watts, and I can see that, that's using 1.188 kilowatts, which no one ever understands, but you can put it in currency, and I can see that the total usage of this house right now is trending at 60 cents an hour is what it is. Maybe I was wrong on that. So so it would be that's true. It'd be trending at 66 cents an hour because something's running right now. So what I can do, I can click by the day, by the week, by the month. So far this month, which is the 20th of March, the entire usage of this house is at $98.57. And you'll see that go up here in a second because it's adding on all the time. So now I've clamped some of these things down in his meter, and I can see that this person's heat pump, $37 for the basement one. The upstairs one is $12. Basement sub panel, so that could be like a generator panel that's running crucial loads like fridge, internet, stuff like that. The dining room heaters, 5% of his power bill. So that's the percentage on the side. So in this person's case, the biggest consumer in the last month has been that basement heat pump. So, and then you can click year, and it'll tell you how much they've spent so far this year on each one of these devices. So when I go and clamp a panel, I'll try to find the ones that I think are going to be, big. So I'm surprised I don't have water heater here, which is interesting on this one, but for whatever reason. Let's click usage, and what I can do is let's analyze this basement heat pump. So I'll click, let's do it by the day. We see that it costs almost $4 today. I'm going to click on the basement heat pump. Now I've got a graph. If I click live, I can see it pulling money right now, 11 cents an hour. That doesn't sound like much, but guess what? When I click month on there, that thing's cost $130 in the last month. That one breaker in your panel has cost you $130 a month. So now I can see, I can log in even by the minute, and it's just running all the time in the last minute. The last hour, it's ramped up, it's come down. You can see the time. You can scroll this. I can figure out if this was hooked to their water heater, I could figure out when they had a shower. So day, week, you can see that for some reason on Tuesday it must have been warm, didn't run as much. So, and I can pull that all the way back by the month, and by the year should give me my months. So yeah, it looks like this heat pump so far this year has cost this person $624 to operate. Didn't run at all in September. October started getting cold. November, December, January it peaked, and then February I actually used less than December. So I've got all this insight. So when I go back and look at this person's consumption, and I can dig down in and I can find out exactly where the money is going. And this total usage covers the entire panel, like that's everything. There's an other down here, a balance of the system, and it does everything else that we didn't clamp, because we're not going to go and clamp an outside outlet if there's nothing in it. We only have so many clamps on each energy monitor. So in this person's case, I'm curious why we didn't clamp their hot water, but it's possible they're running propane or something like that. I'm not sure. So that's a nutshell how the energy monitor works.